Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Haunt Show Radio, the podcast brought to you by the crew of Haunted Hills Productions. Today I am here with Eric. He was on, how's it going, Eric? He was on the last podcast, and today we're going to be talking about, we have a list of things that we think are either overused or are just old in the haunted house world and need to be replaced or at least reworked. While we are having this conversation, I am going to be making a plastic body by wrapping Eric up in plastic, and then we're going to chop it off him. So, Eric, I'm going to need you to take your shoes off. Oh, God, the smell.
And by the way, if you want me in your haunt, I'm for sale, $1 million. All proceeds go to Haunted Hills Hospital.
Oh, thanks, Eric. I appreciate that. So, anyway, Eric, how this will kind of work is I'm going to start from your legs. I'm going to wrap one leg and then the other leg, and I'm going to have you stand up. I'm going to wrap kind of your waist area.
It's starting to sound like 50 Shades of Haunted Hills.
It is. And then once I'm here, I will actually cut up to like here just so it's free then. And then I'll continue up. I'm wrapping all of you except your head. That's why I have that over there. After we reach up here, I'll chop it off you and we'll actually put our head bust inside and then wrap it the rest of the way just so I don't have to wrap your head up. So anyway, so the first thing on our list of stuff that needs to change in haunted houses is the black walls and the black hallways. Eric, what do you think about black walls and hallways in haunted houses?
Boring.
Boring?
I don't know. It's when I go to a haunted house, I'm looking for an adrenaline rush. I'm looking for a scare. If I wanted black, I would just go walk out in the woods or something, get myself. I don't like plain. I mean, if you're gonna do a dark hallway or a dark room, add some kind of detail. Even if it's a little bit. Make it to where people can remember it.
Yeah. What this actually is like, it means like, I'm sure everyone has experienced a haunt where they like ran out of money or they ran out of ideas or whatever, and now they have just a hallway that is all black and it's boring. It's really just a waste of space in this haunted house, if you ask me. Eric, with this huge roll of plastic, this should go pretty quickly. So.
By the way, Justin's on his knees.
Yeah. Do you want to stand up now? The best that you can.
I don't know. I've been involved with some haunts and. All right, Justin.
Close on your butt here, Eric.
Oh. I admit we've had a lot of black empty space, but that was
Step forward a bit.
That was pretty much because, as Justin said, we ran out of money. We couldn't buy more props. So I guess it just depends on what you do with your haunt. I mean, if you run out of money, you have no choice, but try to avoid it.
Yeah. I think there's 100 things you could do other than a black hallway. It's
Paint it red.
Yeah, paint it something else. I mean, even just
paint,
little bit of something else.
if you got a black hallway, you want to do some kind of interest in it. Put a bunch of scribbles or drawings or words or whatever. Make people wonder. Okay, what is this hallway leading to? If your black hallway's leading to a room, make it part of the room. I mean, you don't have to get expensive with it. For instance, like I said, with the lettering. If you have I don't know, if you have a demented evil room, you know, just put a bunch of evil sayings on the wall or something, you know, just lead up to it.
All right, so we're going to go on to our next topic, which is the spider rooms. This was one from Eric.
Spider rooms are boring. Once again, along with the black walls.
Explain what you mean by spider rooms, Eric.
Okay, what I mean by spider rooms is you walk into a room, there's a bunch of spider webs. You see spider webs, you know there's spiders.
All right, I need you to stand up, but keep your legs spread like that so I can get underneath.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Easy, don't fall down. We're going to get friendly here today, Eric.
I love being friendly. But, I hope my crotch doesn't stink. I washed it this morning.
Me too.
But, I don't know. You see spider webs, there's gonna be a spider. If there's a spider, I don't know. I despise spider rooms, especially the ones that have the spiders that jump out. Now, you know, if you want to do something with spider webs, hang them down so they're in people's faces. I mean, to me, that's more of a scare than walking into a spider room with just webs and spiders all over the place. I mean, I don't know. What's your opinion?
My opinion? I think that spiders, I don't like to have spider rooms and stuff like that in my haunt because I am not afraid. Hi,
Jimmy.
What's up? Because anyway, I'm not afraid of spiders, therefore a spider room does not scare me. I try to attack everything, like everyone. I want everyone who walks through my haunted house to be afraid when they come into these rooms, whatever the room may be. Hey Jimmy, you want to say hi to our podcast? You don't have to stare at it. They can't hear you. Sorry. Jimmy's here. He's kind of under the weather.
Yeah.
He had
I see that.
his thing taken out the other day. It's pretty interesting. So.
I just saw someone was here and I pulled in.
Yeah. I need to use the heat gun now. Yeah.
And he wants me to give him a goddamn bottle.
Jeez.
I know. Even when I'm dying, he wants me to give him a bottle. I was just stopping by to say hi, guys.
Yep. It's good to see you, bud.
Good seeing you.
Absolutely.
Recover.
I'm trying.
Do
On
your
my
best.
perky seas.
Recover by Transworld.
Oh, don't you fucking worry. I'm gonna be eating a weird ass diet though.
He is. He said he's lost a bunch of weight since he started it. 15 pounds.
There you go.
Jesus. But
Keep
anyway,
going.
My problem with
Bye, guys.
see you later, Jimmy. With the spider rooms is that they're they're not made to scare everyone. They're made for a specific group of people who are afraid of spiders. And that's wonderful if you're afraid of spiders, but if you're not, it doesn't work. People just aren't afraid of it. It's something interesting
Ooh, that's hot.
to look at. I'm trying to move quick so I don't burn it. But it won't scare everybody. So that's my take on spider rooms. Let me complete this heating, and then we'll move on to the next part. Unless you can tell me what's next.
Next one is clowns, blacklight
Clowns.
clowns.
Okay, so the next thing is clowns. All right, I know that sounds crazy, why I'm saying clowns, but here's why. Hear me out. So clowns are in every haunted house, and I don't think they need to be in every haunted house. I think people try their hardest to find a way to squeeze clowns into whatever haunt it is that they have, and I really think that they're not needed as much as they're actually used. And on top of that, I am so tired of the black light, the bright and happy clowns.
Hey, watch it.
Yeah, I'll be all right. It's just so overused. I'm tired of it. be more creative than that, than just putting clowns in there to be clowns. Why not make them some kind of other, like a dark creature or something like that, the movie from Eli Roth that just came out like last
Clown.
year. Clown.
Right.
In that, like, it's like a demon type, a monster of a clown. That was awesome.
Or, why not make a, I guess this is along the lines of what you just said. Why not make a clown, but, how they transform, why not make half human, half clown? I understand that, okay, clowns are human, but,
But they don't have to
right. I mean, you could have, you don't have to have your clown character in full makeup. I mean, just like a transformation, you could put, I don't know how to really explain it. I mean, you have skin showing, okay, my take is, when you go into a haunted house, every clown is the same. They look the same. I know Justin and I just were discussing this, so I'll bring it up. Your clown, red hair, pointy chin.
Yep.
I agree. That's what you see.
The same clown
Costumes with polka dots on it.
prosthetic is in every haunt.
Well,
It's
the
got,
costumes are the same
yeah.
too.
It's got the same clown look. It's got a ring of hair,
Yep.
which is bald on top. It's the, and I mean, it's in every single haunted house, and I literally refuse to have it in my haunt because it's in every haunt. It's the generic clown, and I'm tired of it. I want something new. Because if I'm tired of looking at it, the audience is most likely tired of looking at it. So,
Little do you know right now, Justin is not going to cut me out of this.
yeah. I'm actually planning to just choke him out and then drop
Won't be
his
a new
body
prop.
in a river or something.
I don't know. Going back to my costume thing. I mean, when you go in, you see the same costumes. White with polka dots. White with red ruffles, Why does a clown have to be in white with polka dots? Why can't a clown be in overalls? Why can't a clown be in a suit?
Yeah, okay. The clowns and the carnies of real life are scary enough. I don't know why we have to create them out to be these like crazy monsters. Like, there is enough freakiness to them already. I went with some really classic clown costumes a few years ago, and they look terrifying. And I'm going even more classic this year with the new one I'm having made. So I don't know. I think it'll be pretty interesting.
I mean, when I was a clown at another haunted house I worked, I made my own clown costume. I took a pair of sweatpants. I cut them up to the knees. I put on some striped socks that I bloodied up. I had a white t-shirt on that I bloodied up with suspenders. I painted my face. That scared the crap out of people. It was an original costume. So I guess based on the lines, if you're gonna do clowns, make them your own clowns. Don't copy or repeat what other people are doing.
Okay, Eric, have a seat and put your feet straight out so I can cut this up some of the way. Free up a bit. Alright, so what is our next topic? I believe it's 3D haunted houses.
Yes, it is.
I I am so tired of 3D haunted houses. I don't know. They're old. If you ask me, they've ran their course. Eric, let me hit this with the heat gun real quick so it holds its shape. I wasn't able to hit the bottom of your feet. I did it. But anyway, I don't know. I've experienced maybe one of them ever that actually scared me. And I think that was it. Apart from that, I've never experienced a haunt like that actually scared me or had anything that was interesting. It's always the same thing over and over again, and it's just it's tired and it's dead, man. We need something new. So we've 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're on number 4. We'll stop at about number 7, I think, for a music break. But anyway, they're just. I don't know. They're not scary because you lose the darkness because your whole thing is lit up from a bunch of black lights, and the scares don't really come.
Well, along that line is, if you have a 3D haunted house and you're an actor-based haunted house, you can't honestly put your actors into a 3D haunted house. You cannot take a human and, maybe you can, but from my experiences, you cannot take a human and turn him into a 3D character in the haunted house.
Yeah. You can try, and I've seen some pretty interesting makeups, but never anything where I was like, wow, that was way better than the actual haunt. If you ask me, those haunts are always not as good as the regular haunted house. Ever. Which is why it's always like an extra show. And if you ask me, if it can't be... I don't ever want to construct a product that is not as good. If I'm constructing more than one haunted house, they're all going to be equally as good as each other.
If you want to do 3D, don't do a whole haunted house. You can make a 3D room. If you want to include some type of 3D, I understand it'd be hard to do, especially if you do it in the middle of the haunt, because, the people have to have glasses, whatever, but, I don't know. It's, when we went to, I'm not going to say what, but when we went to the one last year as a group, it wasn't too bad. They had a couple nice 3D props in there, but it's, my experience from 3D haunted houses is it's mostly just drawings, paintings.
Yeah.
I guess there's some people that enjoy that. Like the detail, but.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I feel when you go more for a factor of wow, you lose your scares. And they start to fall away. And they become not the most important part anymore. And you can't have that. Your job is literally to scare. And if you're not doing that, you're literally not doing your job. So what are you doing? All right, Eric, can you stand up for me now?
I'll try.
Let me get this off you. Do your best. There you go. Beautiful. Yeah, hobble my way. So what's next? 3D haunted houses. And then, okay, zombie paintball. Zombie paintball. Zombie paintball has been, I've said literally forever. that zombie paintball was not going to stick around for a long time, and I was correct. I noticed everyone invested in those huge trailers and all kinds of guns and stuff, and then a few years later, they're going away, and now you've got zombie laser tag and all this stuff. Zombie laser tag, I think, is pretty cool because you're actually in an environment where you are being attacked or whatever by zombies. Zombie paintball was just, you're on a trailer riding past a bunch of stuff and just mowing down actors. That's not interesting to me. There's no danger in that at all. These scissors suck.
I have no comments on this because I've actually never done it.
I haven't either, but I've watched it enough. I've done enough research about it to know, what it's about, and it just looks lame to me. I've had opportunities. I've just literally never wanted to do it because it's not fun. You're gonna hang out on the trailer of a truck and mow down actors with paintballs.
I guess if a haunt wanted to go more into the theme park attraction type thing, that might be good for them. But if you're into, just strictly haunted house business, I guess you just want to stick to what you're trying to give the people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I said years ago that it was a trend that was going to go away very quickly, and I was correct. It's not huge. I think that people thought that it'd be really awesome, and they spent shitloads of money on these trailers and all of this stuff, and now it's going away, and they still have this, and I see them constantly up on Haunters Hangout and stuff, or whatever it is, with people trying to get rid of them because it was an investment that they really don't want anymore because it's not making them the money that they hoped it would. Eric, I'm going to try to locate some kind of other blade to get you out of this.
Got it.
There you go. Let's see if I can start from the top and go that way. So that was number 5. So the next one is horror movie characters in haunted houses. I agree with this completely, Eric. This was one that you brought up, but I am on board with this one totally. I have spoken out forever against having those kinds of characters in your haunted house. For one, I already know that story. It's not your character.
You can only tell a horror movie story so many times before somebody walks into the room. Oh, look, it's a boiler room. Oh, there's Freddy. Oh, look, it's a bed with the person on it. Oh, that might be Psycho.
Yeah.
You walk into a room with woods and water. Oh, well, this might be Jason. It's just the thing of, you're trying to tell the horror movie story all over again in your haunted house.
Yeah. Like I said, unless you're Halloween Horror Nights, I really don't want to watch a scary movie in your haunted house. And even at Halloween Horror Nights, I like the original fucking content even more than when they create a scary movie style haunted house. It's just more interesting to me to hear a new tale, by some creative mind. I mean, I've already heard the story of Freddy Krueger. I've already heard that. If I wanted to hear that again, I'll just watch it. I have all of them at home. I don't need to spend another however much to hear that story again or to experience him. I can do it for free in my own house.
I mean, you could put them in, but, kind of make the people wonder, I mean, for instance, you take Freddy, you put him in Jason's atmosphere. You take Jason, put him in Freddy's. You walk into a boiler room, you're expecting Freddy. All of a sudden, here comes a Jason character out, and you're like, what the hell is this? Or, Michael Myers in the boiler room. I mean, if you're going to do something like that, create your own. Basically, like Justin said, create your own story about it. Tell a different story. I mean, I guess that's all I really got. I mean, I hate going into haunts that just have your basic horror movie characters that, I don't know, I know I keep repeating myself, but you know the story, you know what's going to happen. Create your own original characters, create your own original rooms, make the people wonder what's going to happen in the room, make the people wonder what's going to happen in the next room. I mean, if you go into a haunted house and your first 3 rooms, are Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, you're pretty much going to be like, oh, well, I mean, you're probably thinking this whole haunted house is just based about them. Just be creative and try to get away from that.
Yeah, I don't know. I would never use them in my haunted house. Just because that's someone else's story. And whenever I experience a Freddy Krueger or a Jason in a haunted house, you do not have Robert Englund playing your Freddy Krueger. If you do, I mean, by all means, go for it. But you don't. So your Freddy Krueger does not look like Freddy Krueger to me. He's not the right height. He's too fat. Whatever it is, that's not Freddy Krueger anymore. Because, I mean, we know the character. I don't need you to tell me what Freddy looks like. I already know what Freddy Krueger looks like. So when you present one that doesn't look like him, I'm not scared anyway because that's not Freddy Krueger. That's a dude dressed like Freddy Krueger. Where if you create your own character, whatever he looks like is what he looks like because I can't tell you how he's supposed to look.
It's not
up to me.
Based on what you going on with that is, and I know this is kind of off topic, but create your character around the person who's playing the character. Just like you said, don't put a fat person, and no offense because I'm fat, but don't put a fat person supposed to play a skinny character. Don't put a skinny character supposed to play a fat character just because, we think they're going to be great playing this character. No. That's along the lines of making your own original characters. Base your character on the lines of who's playing it. Work around them. I don't know, that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, and that's just what I mean. I mean, I would bet that not many of you have some huge people that could play a Jason, because Jason is a monster. I mean, he's really tall, but also really powerful and strong. And I would bet not many of you have that kind of a guy in your haunted house. Or at least a lot of them to create a Jason haunted house. I know when Halloween Horror Nights actually hires, I mean, they get a few thousand people who come to their audition, so they can choose who they want. It's easy for them to create that kind of a haunted house, but not quite for us when we get a few hundred that come to our haunt. We have to kind of choose and make it work. And I'm sorry, but a Jason that is only 5 foot, that's not Jason. I mean, that's some dude in a Jason costume. All right, we got the front of you done. Sweet. So, and set that over here, and we'll tape that up in a bit. It's gonna be a big old boy here. So now we got to do your top. All right, the last one before we take our musical break is collage haunts. Okay, what I mean is a haunt that does not have a story. So, all right, Eric, I'm going to start with your midsection. So if you could hold this right there for a second while I wrap it around you the rest of the way. So, what I mean is a haunt that doesn't have a story, or a haunt that is just like, it's a collage of a lot of things instead of having a story with. All right, you can stop holding it now. Instead of having a story with what is happening and adding on it with your rooms, it's just, okay, you're in a house, but here's a house, and now you're in a prison, and now you're in a medical ward, stuff like that.
And I'm gonna say, based on, my experiences, the haunt
Put your left arm down. I'm gonna go over the top of it.
You mean right arm?
Yeah, that one.
The haunted house that I was working and experienced was a collage haunt.
I put that arm down now. I'm gonna come over the other side.
I'm gonna go through this. It started out just as he said. You walk in, you had a prison. The next room was the outside of the prison. Then you had a room that had an alien dissecting a human. Okay, so where does that in the story? And then you go
Pick
into.
this arm up. All right. Give me a second. Let me cut that. Hold that for me. Hold that. All right. Keep going.
So, then you go into, we had like an old basement, and then you go into a maze. I mean, it didn't tell a story. It was basically just a bunch of rooms put together.
Yeah.
So that's going along its lines of a collage
All right,
haunt.
can you lift your arm now? All right, that'll be good. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean, is this kind of haunt where the rooms don't make sense. They just, it's like, all right, I gotta come up and over like this, and back and around your arm.
And for years, I had told them, I'm like, hey, let's come up with a storyline. And, they refused to do it. And I don't know, I was trying to better the haunted house, and it didn't seem to work. I'd bring up storylines, based along the lines of this, the hospital. I had brought up to them, hey, why don't we do like a mental hospital? And they're like, and if you can't, if you just want to put a haunted house together to make money and, just a quick thing, that's fine. That you can collage it as much as you want, but, if you're in it to entertain people, you want to make a story out of it that basically you're putting a book into your haunted house.
Exactly.
The people, as they walk through, are reading your book. You're telling them your story that you wrote, but
Exactly.
you're telling them the story with, it's basically like you're giving them a live version of your book.
Exactly. That's perfect, Eric. I mean, you hit it right on the head. We are telling a story here. I mean, that is, you really can't paint it in any other way, because that's really what you're not funny. Because that's really what we're doing. All right, I'm going to come around your body like this, and then back up to your arm. So, but yeah, you're exactly right in that regard. So yeah, I don't hate, because a lot of times these haunts do have some cool things, but I promise you that your audience will appreciate your haunt more if you have a story to it. I mean, anyone can go and buy a lot of cool stuff to put in their haunted house. It takes a creative ass person to make a really scary story and freak you out with it that way. And I find that your audience really likes kind of the lore of your haunted house, kind of knowing what is going on here. And when you do that, you can actually be really creative with that stuff and get a lot of interesting stuff out of it with creating your characters and things like that.
If you wanna, if you wanna do different things with your haunted house, end one story and start another. Basically what is done, here. If any of you are listening to this, you came through last year, you went from the hospital to the town. But you need to end the one story before you start the other. Don't go from the hospital to the town and back to the hospital. You're basically putting two books into one. You need to tell each story as an individual.
Yeah. So, anyway, we're going to have a musical break right now. But first, a word from our sponsor. Our sponsor for today's vlog is...
Hey, Justin?
What?
It itches underneath my nose. Can you help me?
I hope that helped.
Thanks.
Our
Hope
sponsor...
you didn't get no boogers on
I
it.
might have. Our sponsor for today's vlog is Scary Slime. Scary Slime. For when someone blows their nose and you want to keep it. Eric, what's that from?
I couldn't tell you.
Ghostbusters, you suck.
I haven't watched that movie in forever.
You need to go home tonight and watch. Anyway, we're on to our music for the day is going to be Up to Boston by the Dropkick Murphys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed our music. So, back to our list of stuff that haunted houses need to stop. The next one, this one came from Eric, is using too many animatronics in your haunted house. Eric, would you like to elaborate on this?
I've been to a few haunted houses where there was really no actors. I mean, I don't know how some of you feel, but when I go to a haunted house, I like actor-based haunted houses. I mean, as Justin and I had discussed, you know, your actors, they can move left, right, up, down, you know, turn around, they can jump. You know, they can, I don't know, basically maneuver around. When you got a lot of animatronics in a room, unless you're some genius that can make your animatronic move left, right, up, down, and jump around everywhere in the room, you know, hey, let me know so we can get that. But, you know, other than that, you know, when you have all these animatronics in the room, you know, that just come out at you and then they go back in, you know, that to me isn't a true scare. I mean, yeah, you're gonna get a quick 1 second scare to, I don't know, maybe it'll be a little more.
But you don't have the interaction that you would have.
Exactly. I mean, you know, you put most animatronics, you know, that have a soundbite to them is, I don't know, from what I've experienced, a growl or a scream or, you know, it might be a quick saying. But, you know, if you have an actor or 2, 3, 4, however many you have in your room, you know, they're going to all interact with you in a different way. I mean, okay, yeah, you could put 5, 6, 7 animatronics in a room, and, you know, you could say, well, they're all doing different things. But the thing is with that is, yeah, they're all doing different things, but they're not interacting with you. You walk by one animatronic, you know, it might come straight out at you. You walk by another animatronic, and it, you know, might sit up in a coffin. You know, another animatronic, you know, might come out of a cabinet. But the thing is, when that animatronic's done, it's gonna lay down, it's gonna go back into that cabinet. You put an actor in the room, that actor is gonna follow you through the room. They're gonna talk to you. They're gonna do all they can to keep scaring you when you get through that room. So basically, what I mean by too many animatronics is, when that animatronic is done, it's a dead-end scare. You know, especially if you put that animatronic in the beginning of a room, you know, people are walking through the room and they're not getting scared. You put an actor in the room, that actor's gonna follow you from one end of the room to the other end. They're gonna get you to be scared all the way through the room. So, I mean, if you want to put 2, 3 animatronics in a room, put yourself an actor in there to interact with them. You know, make your actor part of the animatronic. Try to characterize them as, you know, what your animatronic is in the room, and, you know, just give the audience what they want. They want to be scared from the beginning of the haunt to the end, from the beginning of the room to the end of the room. You know, if you don't put the scares in your haunt, the people aren't going to want to come back. So, you know, just don't try to overstuff and go overboard.
Sure. The next one that I want to talk about is when you have actors in there that their only job is to jump out and scream at you, or they have a jump out and growl, or the worst one definitely up there with jumping out and just screaming is jumping out and going, "Get out!" It is tired. It is dead. you should expect way more from your actors than just that. I mean, it's kind of cheap. It's old and it's not scary. It does not get the job done that you should require from your actors. So that's that. I mean that's pretty quick. It's old. I mean, people have done it. That is for the JCs. Let them have actors jumping out and screaming or whatever. Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah. The next thing is cue lines that are boring. Okay? We went to a few hunts last year. I know that one thing that our audience loves is our cue line. I know that is a crazy thing, but people love to wait in our line because, for one, our music is awesome, as opposed to other haunts that use kind of the creepy kind of music. We play rock music.
We headbang.
Yeah, we play heavy metal music. We play music that the audience likes and that they might actually know. And it has a huge change on how the audience, for one, interacts with you, and for two, how they enjoy your cue line.
Entertain your audience before they go in.
Yeah.
Don't let your audience stand in line and start twiddling their thumbs and start complaining, oh, when are we going to get in the haunted house? Why is this taking so long? Blah, 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 blah. Entertain them. Make them enjoy standing in line. You know, and you don't have to be completely scary about it. You know, don't think you have to make your people in line cry before they go into the haunted house. Basically, your cue actors are there to make them scream, possibly make them cry, make them laugh.
Make them laugh. There you
go.
know,
make them feel like they're at home at your haunted house.
Absolutely.
Like, your cue actors should welcome them before they go in. And based on the line of that, you know, interact with them. You can tell your actors, and I'm getting all this from what I've learned from Justin and all the others.
In a year.
And yeah, and I'm trying to bring out what I've learned. You know, I spent one night being a cue actor, and you know, basically what they told me is, don't break your character, but you know, people want to take pictures with you, they want to interact with you. Stay in your character, but let them. You know, when you do that, that person might go home and they will post the picture of you and them on their Facebook, and that picture might get 5, 10, 20, 30 people to come. Oh, wow, I didn't know this haunted house existed. You know, let's go check it out. So basically, you're the front line of the haunted house.
Exactly.
You're there to, I guess in a way, kind of advertise for the haunted house when you take pictures with people and stuff like that.
Yeah, and your line, our line, I always want it to be like a party. We have chants, we do a bunch of Snapchat in line of our audience and stuff, and we have a lot of interaction between our actors and our audience, not just in scary ways, but a lot of times I'll put a character who is more of a gross out, or a character who is created to create a comedy kind of role. I played a hobo last year, and I was out there eating stuff out of trash cans. I was out there, I'd pretend like I was having a conversation, and then I would just pass out on a member of our audience, and just all kinds of stuff just to make them crack up. And the hours that they are in line, they don't realize that they are in line for that long. I mean, there's a reason that the places like a Disneyland or Universal Studios put so much stuff in their queue line, because the number one complaint at a theme park is that the lines are really long. Well, you can't stop the long lines. If you have a lot of people coming to your haunted house, there's going to be a long line. All you can do is make sure that your audience is having a great time while they are in your line. I will push this forever. My managers hate that I put a lot of actors in our line, but they're starting to understand now that.
I'm making it smell good.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Viva la juicy.
Ooh. They're starting to understand now that I do that because we need that. Because actors, I mean, even the strongest actors might not have like hours and hours of stuff to do. So if you have lots of actors in line and all of them have a whole half hour of stuff that's new, I mean, you have plenty of actors to interact with your audience always and create an interesting experience while they're standing in line. And then they're not angry when they reach the front, and they're actually ready to be scared when they walk inside. Eric, what's our next topic after the queue line?
Portrait drop panels.
Portrait drop panels. Oh my goodness. So everyone should know what I mean. I don't just mean a drop panel. I mean a drop panel that is a picture frame. This is kind of the classic scare in a haunted house, but it's gotten to the point where the audience knows that that's what you're going to do. They know that when they see a picture on the wall, especially a lot of them in a hallway, there's going to be a drop panel in that hallway every time. And it's just old. And there's so many. All I'm arguing is just don't use a portrait. There is other stuff that you can do. Other things you can use. Use posters. Use ads for whatever your place is. Just be more creative with that. It's a great scare, but the portrait thing is just old. There's so much more that we can do, and I'm ready to see what else there is.
Okay, I'm gonna give my take on this. Make yourself a hallway. If you want to do portraits, make yourself a hallway, put your portraits in it. Don't make them drop. They're gonna walk through, they're gonna look, they're gonna wonder, oh, when is this portrait gonna drop? Now, going back to the black hallways, you can interact a black hallway in with that. They turn the corner into a black hallway, they don't see the panel. All of a sudden, you got a character that drops the panel in a black hallway. I mean, kind of do it like that. I mean, that's just my take on it. Make them think something's gonna happen, it doesn't, and make it happen in a spot where they wouldn't expect it to happen.
Yep. So what's next, Eric?
Door room.
You brought this one up.
Okay.
So you go ahead and talk about this one.
I've been in a couple haunts that had door rooms. Some of you are probably thinking, oh, well, most haunted houses have doors in a room. No, I understand that. door room, I'm talking, you have a room with several doors. Now, you walk in and you're gonna think to yourself, oh, well, someone's gonna be behind the door. Now you gotta find a way out of it. So, I mean, I guess if you do it properly, you can make proper scares in it. But when I went in and I just started opening doors, I'm not caring about looking for somebody jumping out, whatever. I'm trying to find my way out of that room. You know, if you got a group in there and they're in there for 5 minutes, opening this door, opening that door, trying to find, you're gonna get backed up in that room. All of a sudden, you got 2 groups, maybe 3 groups. So the thing is with the door rooms are, I just feel it clogs up your haunted house. I mean, I've been to some where they had a room that had 2 doors. You pick a door and you go. You know, you pick the wrong door, somebody jumps out. Okay, let's pick the other door. So, I don't know, I guess my whole thing is with it is, I just feel it can tend to clog things up.
Yeah. Is that all?
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Our next topic, I'll let Justin speak because this was him, clown masks.
Yes, this is what we kind of talked about earlier. Okay, all of you know what I mean, and if you look up haunted house clown on anything, you will find this. It is that classic. It's not even a classic. It's kind of new. It's a clown look. It's a long chin, the high up, the cheekbones, a ring of hair. I think it's Heckles and Twitch. Kind of, they might have created it, but now everyone has that clown in their haunted house, and it is old. Come up with something new.
Basically, what I see, what people have done is they've taken the basic concept of the It mask and tried to work around it.
Yeah, it's kind of a
They
mix
took-
of it and
Yes.
what's the other clown? Killjoy.
Killjoy, yes. And basically, they took the white with the red as their base of the mask and then just added some. You know, create your own, you know, a clown does not have to look like a clown that everybody knows, you know. If you have the right character playing your clown, you know, you can create something other than a plain clown mask for them, because they're gonna make that mask, that makeup, whatever, part of their character.
Yeah. So I think we got what, one more?
2 more.
2 more?
Claustrophobia tunnel.
Claustrophobia tunnels. So this is not just claustrophobias. I love them, right? They are awesome. But they are overused. It's at the point now where every haunted house has one, even if they don't need them. That's one thing I think a lot of haunts have wrong. You don't need every awesome effect in the world. Not every haunt needs a vortex. Yes, they're cool, but why does it make sense to have one? I like realism over kind of this awe factor, always. We have one, but I use it as an exit of our nightmare area, because to me, it works there. I wouldn't use it in another place. I wouldn't have it at the end of our clown room because it's a church. I wouldn't have it in a place like that. What are you trying to create by having this claustrophobia? It kind of, it's up there with the spider room. Yes, it's an interesting thing, but what are you trying to accomplish with your thing?
You need a hallway in your haunt, make it a claustrophobia. You know, use it if you need to, fill a space, you know?
Yeah, I would argue that it's way better than just a black hallway. But again, it should have some kind of a reason that it's in there. Don't just have it to have it. Don't just have it because every other haunt has it and you want to, like, look cool because you have one. You should want to look cool because your haunt is great. So, anyway, that's that. What's next?
Our last topic, butcher shops.
Butcher shops. So, every single haunt in the world ever has done a butcher shop, including us. I'm tired of them. I want to see new stuff. I want to see not a store. I want to see a slaughterhouse, a whole haunt around that. Not just, we ran out of place, so here's some inbreds eating humans. That's old. It's real old. Make up something new. What is interesting about your slaughterhouse type thing that is totally different than anyone else's?
Well,
that's kind of my trademark is, how is yours different? How is ours different?
you know, when I go into haunts and see butcher shops, you know, a lot of them stick to the animal butcher. You know, why not change it up to a human butcher? Oh God, I don't know, I can't think of the word, a cannibal, you know? Why do you have to stick to,
Well, I'd say that they are. How it always works is, okay, they have a bunch of pigs that are meat. And then they have a bunch of people hanging up in the freezer. And what it shows me is you ran out of ideas, and they have a lot of stuff at a Goodwill to create a butcher shop.
yeah.
It's an easy room to make, or that goes along also with like a kitchen, all that stuff. I mean, there is much scarier stuff out there than eating humans. I mean, yes, that is a scary idea, but there's scarier stuff out there that hasn't been touched yet. I mean, there's Ebola is pretty scary, but I've never experienced an Ebola haunted house or something like that, I guess. What do you think, Eric?
I personally, I like the gore. I like blood, guts, gore. If you want to create a butcher shop, you know, and you've got things that are butchered in your butcher shop, make it gory. You know, don't hang 5 pigs from the ceiling and you have no blood splatter. I mean, you know, make it as realistic as possible. You know, you're slaughtering pigs in your butcher shop. You're slaughtering humans in your butcher shop. Splatter blood, splatter guts everywhere. You know, make the people walk through and, you know, I like to be disgusting with things. Make the people walk through. Make them sick to their stomach if you can. Now, I don't know if Justin really wants that, but that's what I like. So if I had a haunted house and I was to create a butcher shop, I'd want it to smell. I'd want it to be just make you want to puke as you're walking through it, you know? Don't make your butcher shop and it smell like flowers. You know, that's, no.
Yeah.
You wanna, if you create a butcher shop, make it disgusting, make it rancid, you know, like he said with the Ebola, you know. Put something in there, you know, a pig that was infected or it's got bugs all over it, you know, just don't make it plain, I guess is what I'm saying.
All right, I think that's pretty much it for our list, right?
That is all.
All right, so that's going to be it for this episode of the Haunt Show Radio. I thank you guys very much for tuning in and listening. Make sure you subscribe to us so you never miss any of our content. We will have lots more stuff coming out very soon, including how-tos, including our Trans World trip and everything. And again, if you notice us at Trans World, please come up and say hello. Let us know that you watch us or that you love us or whatever, or that you hate us and you wish we would die.
There you go.
Whatever it is, we really love.
We might die in front of you for you.
Yeah, I will dive on my sword. But anyway, we really love to hear from you guys, and we would love it even more in person. So if you notice us at the trade show, make sure you come up and say hello. Anyway, to close us out today is going to be, what song should we pick for the end here, Eric?
I don't know. How about we give him a crazy song by, what is it, Napoleon? Coming to Take Me Away.
All right, Coming to Take Me Away by whoever he's.
Remember when you ran away and I got on my knees and begged you not to leave because I go berserk? Well, you left me anyhow, and then the days got worse and worse, and now you see I've gone completely out of my mind. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, they're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time, and I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming to take me away, ha-ha! You thought it was a joke, and so you laughed. You laughed when I had said that losing you would make me flip my lid. Right? You know you laughed. I heard you laugh. You laughed and laughed, and then you left. But now you know I'm utterly mad. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the happy home with trees and flowers and chirping birds and basket weavers who sit and smile and twiddle their thumbs and toes, and they're coming to take me away, I cooked your food, I cleaned your house, and this is how you pay me back for all my kind, unselfish, loving deeds. Ha? Well, you just wait, they'll find you yet, and when they do, they'll put you in the ASPCA, you mangy mutt. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, they're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time, and I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, to the happy home with trees and flowers and chirping birds and basket weavers who sit